Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be playing another 5-colored list. We're going to be playing Omnath, Locus of All, and Historic Brawl. It's going to be a historic brawl list with average converted mana cost 3.4, has 10 creatures, 47 non-creatures, and 43 lands to be exact. So 5-colored list. Omnath has a lot of text, it does a lot of things, and we've built this deck to basically complement all of Omnath's effects at one time. So Omnath, if you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. So you can build Omnath around that effect. Or, at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library you may have revealed. That card, if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in its mana cost, if you do add 3 mana in any combination of its colors into your hand, add the card into your hand. If you don't reveal it, just put it into your hand. So we can build Omnath around that effect as well. So what we've done here is basically just a good, just build a deck that revolves around all of its effects, right? I've looked at mostly all the Omnath, all the Historic Brawl Omnath lists. And I truly believe that I have the best one so far, or at least the most competitive. So Omnath is basically like a kill on sight kind of commander. So we have a bunch of protection, a bunch of 1-mana counter spells. We have mana fixers as well, we have ramp, and we have insane top ends or cards that complement the Omnath. So let's count together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 cards that can use the 3 or more colored mana symbol effect that Omnath has. Now it doesn't have to be a 3-colored card like Nicol Bolas the Ravager, like Grixis colors. No, it can be like Invoke Despairs if it has at least 3 in its colored mana symbols of any color. Basically, if it has at least 3 black or 3 white like Avacyn here, or 3 blue like Restoration of Seagate Restoration, or 3 green maybe, then it can be run in Omnath. It doesn't have to be a 3-colored card. It has to be it has to have at least 3 colored mana symbols in its mana cost. So let's get right into the list, right? We have Mox Amber here. I'm running Mox Amber because usually we want to get Omnath out on turn 3. We play Mox Amber for free and hold up a 1-mana protection spell using the Mox Amber. So on turn 3, you can have a pretty explosive turn. If you ramped on turn 2, you run out your Omnath on turn 3, you play your Mox Amber, and then you hold up either your D-spell to counter a removal spell, or you hold up like something like Loran's Escape, for example, or Veil of Summer, or Tamiyo's Safekeeping, all 1-mana protection spells that can play very, very well. Now you have a 4/4 on turn 3 that has a ton of text, and you have protection for it also on turn 3, and then you can maybe pop off on turn 4. We managed to actually be able to cast a 7-drop on turn 4 pretty reliably here if you go along those lines. The rest here are, protection spells, Loran's Escape, we have D-Spell, we have Slip Out the Back, we have Swan Song, we have Wash Away to counter, opposing commanders, we have Tamiyo's Safekeeping, Veil of Summer, we also have Chromatic Star, Terrarion here, and we have Guild Globe, and where was the other one? Yeah, I think it's just the Guild Globe. So these are mana fixers, right? The Guild Globe, the Chromatic Star, and the Terrarion, because a lot of times we wanted to make this as consistent as possible, and these artifacts just make the deck excel, right? They fix the mana so well, especially since we have problematic cards like Grizzlebrand, Avacyn, like Seagate Restoration, Invoke Despair. Sometimes you don't have Omnath on the battlefield, right? Sometimes you just want to hard cast these cards. So how are you going to do that if you're playing like a multicolored mana base? Well, you fix the mana, right? We have Gilded Lotus, we have Timeless Lotus, we have 4-mana ramp procs, and 3-mana ramp procs here as well. We also have more counter spells within Tails and Counterspell. We just want to compete with every deck out there. We have more removal within Source to Plowshares. We have removal within our 3-drops here as well. More ramp into the north. Paradise Druid. It has hexproof, so I love this card to ramp on turn 2. Growth Spiral, just A ramp spell on turn 2 that doesn't get targeted or removed is something that I do like. Arcane Signet, Cold Steel Heart, and Ornithopter of Paradise. We also have Maze Mind Tome, we have Brainstorm, and Otherworldly Gaze, and these are some very important cards. Since you get to draw on your draw step, and then your Omnath ability activates after the draw step, you need to scry, or you need to cantrip right before Omnath's ability resolves, so that at the very least you put something back from your hand and then you top deck it with Omnath, which provides you colors. So we kind of manipulate Omnath's effect. You'll see what I'm talking about within the gameplay. The most important card for Omnath is Brainstorm. It has to be Brainstorm. You can draw 3, then put back one of your, for example, 3 colored mana symbol cards on top of your deck, manipulate the spot where it lands, so that you draw on your draw step, then you top deck the card that you put back with Omnath, and then get mana, right? So ramp into it, cast it. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's very, very important. A similar effect here within Hedetsugu and Kairi. It acts as a Brainstorm, that's why I have it in the deck, and it also synergizes well with Omnath, since it has 3 colored mana symbols within its mana cost. So very, very good here. The rest here, we have protection within Swift Boots as well. Also gives haste. Not really relevant haste wise. I just like to equip one to give hexproof. And then we have more counter spells to counter the counter spells. Mystical Dispute, more ramp, Cultivate, and then we start with our 3 colored mana symbol cards: Void Rand, Maestro's Charm, Riveteer's Charm, and the Arya here as a 3 mana board wipe. A Chromatic Lantern to fix our mana and to also ramp. Relic of Legends plays very well with our 1 mana spells, since we can tap the Omnath to either protect it or counter something or play something for 1 mana or remove something within Swords to Plowshares. Celestis here as a mana rock. Supreme Verdict plays well with Omnath. Sometimes you just need to wipe the board. Nicole Bolas here, 3 mana, 3 colored mana symbols here. Unleash the Inferno, Narset of the Ancient Ways, then more mana rocks. We talked about Invoke Despair, Hedetsugu, Nicole Bolas, the Dragon God, Illuna. Illuna is very good here. The rest are all 3 plus colored mana symbol within, the cost kind of cards, right? But the thing that you need to keep in mind is that you do need to have some leftover mana sometimes when you have Omnath on the battlefield. So you can tap the mana. Let's say you have a Glacial Fortress, right? You tap it for blue or white, it turns into black and it floats. You don't lose the mana as long as you have Omnath on the battlefield. So it floats into black mana. That's why I have Invoke Despair, Gristlebrand, and Torment of Hellfire. Torment of Hellfire is a very, very good card to sink all that black mana, all that excess mana that you turned into black, into one big spell that can end the game. So Torment of Hellfire is a very important include here. And the rest are just very, very good cards. Nicole Bolas, God Pharaoh. Nicole Bolas is my favorite planeswalker / favorite card, so I have to include all 3 copies here. Avacyn, Zakama. Zakama can be insane with Omnath because you tap all your mana, you play Zakama, you untap, and you just have, it's like an extra turn basically. It's a 9/9 extra turn. And then an honorable mention here is Meeting of the 5. Now you can go the Meeting of the 5 route, which I've done before with Omnath, with this Omnath. I didn't really like it because if you want to play Meeting of the 5, you need to play specific cards. You can't play Kamewar, you can't play Gristlebrand, you can't play Avacyn. You need to play cards that have exactly 3 colors. Cards that have exactly 3 colors. You can't play Seagate Restoration. So it really limits the deck, right? Obviously, it was a very good card with Omnath. We've cast this multiple times. It was easy to cast through Omnath's effect. It can happen, but you need to play cards that have 3 colors exactly, and that limits basically the versatility of the deck. That limits how good the deck can be. So for me, I cut Meeting of the 5 and I cut a lot of 3 colored cards to include more power into the deck. More Kamewar, more Seagate Restoration, more Avacyn, more Gristlebrand, right? Invoke Despair, stuff like Supreme Verdict. This is a 2-colored card that you can't play with Meeting of the 5. More stuff like Hedetsugu and Kairi, Torment of Hellfire. You couldn't include all of these cards if you had Meeting of the 5, because you need when you cast Meeting of the 5, you need to hit with it. You can't whiff. It's an 8 8 mana spell, right? So you need to have it become a game-ending spell since it's 8 mana. So you need to have a ton of 3-colored cards in the deck, which I'm not gonna go for it. So we cut Meeting of the 5. It's an honorable mention because this is the only deck where Meeting of the 5 is actually pretty good in, but you need to kind of build the deck around that, and I didn't want to be restricted around Meeting of the 5. So I cut Meeting of the 5 and I built the deck to be very versatile, be very consistent, and very just all around just perfect for me, right? I've spent a lot of time building Omnath, a lot of time. I've tried everything with Omnath ever since it came out, and I haven't released a video yet because I was never sure about the version of Omnath that I wanted, but this deck right here is the version of Omnath that I'm going to be playing and keeping. So yeah. The rest are lands. We do have some basics here. Pay attention to the Phyrexian mana within its mana cost, because you can pay 2 instead of black. So when you're ramping, make sure you go for all the other colors instead of black. But sometimes if you have black cards in hand, like Invoke Despair, Gristlebrand, and Nicol Bolas, sometimes you do need to get black lands so that at the very least you can hard cast them, right? But yeah, so the rest is as shown. Here we have World Tree to fix our mana, Thram Portal, Mana Confluence, Forsaken Crossroads, Fable, Command Tower, all of the triomes here, dual lands, shock lands, and some legendary lands here as well. So yeah, with that being said, that does it for the list. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Pretty long intro because Omnath is just a bunch of things in one card. It's a bunch of things in one card. It's a very, very fun card to play. Can't play this in standard. It's a terrible card in standard, because standard is just terrible. Barely has any cards anyway that can support Omnath. So I decided to go the historic brawl route and just create a deck that revolves around Omnath. So yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. If you do, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys later with another video. Okay, bye. Okay, so we're playing against Rada Draga here. It says enchant each creature you control with mana ability gets +2/+2 whenever creature you control with mana ability attacks. Untap it. You cast spell at least 7 mana. Untap our creature gets. Okay, so it's a pretty strong commander here. I think we're keeping this though, even though our ramp is on turn 3. But we have a counter spell, we have good lands, and we have protection for our Omnath. So I think we should be good here, and we have a board wipe if it's a extremely aggressive deck here. All right, lead with the tap land. See if they have ramp on 2. Most likely, right? Yeah. Okay. Alright, I think we hold up the tail's end here. Yeah, we have to. It'll be a setback for them for sure. Something that we have to counter. They're faster than us at the moment, so I think that play was definitely a must. Okay. Alright, so get red, get white, I think. We have green, yeah. Get red, get white. Sure. Put the red down. We have Timeless Lotus next turn, so that should be interesting, but they have Rada Draga the turn after. So Goldspan Dragon. Yeah, things are definitely getting out of hand here. Definitely. But I think we take it, even for next turn. Wow, Unleash the Inferno though is really interesting. Now, if they have removal for the Timeless Lotus, that would be a major setback. What we can do is we can also play World Tree and Unleash the Inferno. Potentially killing the treasure here as well. Or we can target the Lone Speaker and the treasure. No, but I think... Okay, so what do we do here? Is it Timeless Lotus? Things will be way too out of hand here. I think it's Unleash the Inferno, to be honest. Yeah, alright, let's do it during their turn. Oh, they have protection maybe. Because there is a stick here. Okay. Let's do it at their upkeep then, if they have protection. That way they don't really... Well, they can still cast the Rada, right? Thanks to the gold span. So let's just see what happens here. Let's target gold span. See if they have protection. They got the treasures already, but I'm gonna end up successfully killing one here. Sure. They can crack it for something, but I mean it's their upkeep, so not like it's going to matter that much, to be honest. Alright, we have Kamewar, which is interesting. That's why I made that play too, because next turn we have Kamewar. And we can exile this Draga here, if they decided to go for it. Okay, they did. Alright. Wow, we also have Nicol Bolas here. I don't want to threaten the Nicol Bolas here since they have another creature, right? If we were to minus on the Nicol Bolas here, they can just attack through it, right? Alright, so this is 8 mana at the moment, which is very good for us. They have 1, 2, Nissa who shakes the world. Yeah, it's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay. Alright, mana. So what do we return to hand? Probably the Nissa, to be honest. Yeah. Just let them recast that all they want. I think it is time for the Arya here. Yep, that's a major setback for our opponent here. Yeah, GG's. Nice. Alright. We didn't even need to play the Omnath here, but that was a very good game here. Surely. GG's. Okay, so we're up against Narset, Enlightened, Exile. Creatures you control have prowess, exile attacks, exile target non-creature non-land card, copy, okay. Alright, so we've got ramp. Yeah, that's a hand here. We don't have a lot of interaction, but we have ramp. So we can get the Omnath out early. But we just have to be mindful of what our opponent does here. Okay. Get a red source, I believe, here. Alright, so Flamestoker on turn 1. Interesting. They pass. Alright, so I think we just continue to ramp here, since they might be holding up a counterspell or something. Get a black source too. Usually when you're playing Omnath, you don't really need to get a black source out because you can tap one of these lands to turn them into black mana. But in this case, since I have Nicol Bolas in hand, at the very least I want to have a black source. So do we go for it? Yeah, I think we do. Alright, let's pay for the mana here, so that if they have a Make Disappear or something, we can pay for it. If they counter the Omnath, that's fine, because we can replay it, right? Take action, sure. We can definitely replay it. So I'm not worried. That's why, like, I played the Omnath into a counterspell here. Boots. Yeah, boots are going to be sort of a headache here. Okay. I don't get this play, but sure. So we can't play the Nicol Bolas here. We can replay the Omnath. Alright, play this land. 1 mana counterspell. You already played your Wash Away, so makes no sense. Okay. Equip. Yeah, but that's the nice part about Riveteer's Charm, is that it dodges all these things, right? But I'm pretty sure they might have protection here. That's fine though. Okay, so we're gonna be able to make just a ton of mana here, huh? If that's the route that we want to take. What we can also do is play Hitotsuku and Kairi. And hold up Loran's Escape as well for protection. This acts as a Brainstorm. Ooh, Atraxa. Okay, put 2 back. So a land in Atraxa, and Atraxa has to be the second one so that we can activate Omnath's ability. And then no attacks. I'm fine with that. Okay, let's see what happens. This Omnath has to stick. Atraxa is going to provide us with mana. Okay. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Alright, so this is the turn where they pop off here, I think. It should be okay. Okay, let's see if they attack. They go all in here, huh? So... Okay. So when this dies, exile the top card. That's not something that we want to do. We don't want to exile the top card here. Do we take it? Do we take 10? I think so. No blocks. Yeah, that's fine. That's a pretty neat effect on this Narset, man. This is a very interesting. Oh, take an extra turn, huh? Alright, so they're forcing us to block pretty much here. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Surely that's good. Okay. So they have to win this turn, or else we're done for, right? Okay. They pop the Flame Stoker. They refuel. It's all up to this Narset now. I mean, we can double block and stuff, right? They play an Esper Sentinel. They equip the boots. Okay, they have 4 mana. What do they have here? Rune of Safety. They have a lot of protection. We can block. And we can pay for the Esper Sentinel. Did they just lose the game? Who knows? Let's see. They don't have a way to give... what's it called? Trample. So that's very interesting. How are you going to deal damage? Okay, let's see what they exile here. I think they just lost the game. Can they do this again? Take an extra turn. Okay. Alright, we can't afford to take damage here, I think. So we'll block here. We'll block here. And Loran's Escape. Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep this on top. They just lost the game. GG's. Yeah. That was awful, man. This card, man, this card is terrible, to be honest. It's not very, it's good only in certain decks, but not this one. Not when you don't have easy access to trample. The idea is there, but the execution is far off. So GG's. Alright, we're playing against the final form of Vorinclex here, so this should be a very interesting matchup. Dispel here is not a very good card here. Growth Spiral is not online unless we play Chromatic Star. I think I am going to keep this hand here, even though it's got pretty much nothing here, except for some mana fixing and some ramp if we continue to draw lands, but yeah, we're missing some colors here as well, so let's see what happens. It's definitely a risky keep. I think we need to play the Chromatic Star on turn 1, so I'm gonna play this Blood Crypt on turn 1 so that we can you know, sacrifice it on turn 2 and play Growth Spiral. But they're off to a good start. Arboreal Grazer here. Okay, alright, we just pass here. Ship it back to our opponent. Into the north, sure. Alright, they're doing their thing here, they're ramping. But soon enough, we're gonna have to find an answer here, to be honest. Or at least play an Omnath, or just find some interaction at least. Okay. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to sacrifice this Chromatic Star. Hopefully you find a blue source. We did. Okay. Alright, play this. And then we can play a Breeding Pool and run out our Omnath here. We're taking a ton of life here, though. Okay, we also have Kogla and Yadaro. That's interesting. Rona's Monument. Okay. Brainstorm. Ooh, just in time, huh? Okay. Can we play Atraxa here? I think so. Yeah. Okay, we got it. So that's a prime example of how Omnath really works. GG's. Okay, we're playing against Yarok here, so a very interesting matchup. Let's take a look at our hand. We definitely have problems with this hand, but we have interaction here. We have a mana fixer here as well. Yeah, I think we keep this. We have turn 1 mana fixer, turn 2 ramp potentially if they don't remove it. And then Brainstorm is a pretty decent cantrip with Omnath. Mystical Dispute is going to be our our interaction here. So the interesting part is, do we play the tap land first, or do we play a turn 1 Terrarion? Sure. Okay. I mean, we can still play our ramp on turn 2, so doesn't really change a lot. They have Explore. Okay. Veil of Summer is a nice one. Sure. See if they have removal for this Ornithopter here. Graveyard Trespasser, interesting. So no ramp, no removal. Yikes. That's pretty good. Alright, what's the play here, friends? I think tap land pass. Even though this transforms, but who cares? Sure. We'll take it. Okay. Is it time for Yarok here? It is. Alright, we're gonna dispute this. And I think we get the Omnath down next turn. Yeah. Wash Away is also pretty interesting here. That's fine. We are going to take more damage here, but it should be okay. Let's see if they have 2 removal spells. Seems like they do, or at least a counter spell. That is a setback for us, especially since they have 4/4 on the battlefield. But I mean, we couldn't have done it any better, I think. Could have brainstormed here. But yeah, they do have the Wash Away. Okay. That's fine. That is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still far away from this Yarok here. We need to find answers to this graveyard glutton. Tap land. Take a scry. Our hand isn't really that good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can tap out for an Omnath, but they run out the Yarok, right? Or if they have removal, that's pretty bad for us. Man, I think we just go for it. Because if they had 2 removal spells in hand, they would have used it instead of the Wash Away, right? They would have used them. But now they just go for Cultivate. I think they surely would have used the second removal spell instead of Wash Away when we played the Veil of Summer. Before the Veil resolves, they use another removal spell and they remove the Omnath. They hold up their Wash Away for the replay of the Omnath, right? But since they played it that way, it gave me the incentive that they don't really have a removal spell in hand, or at least another one. Elvish Mystic. They're just ramping. That's fine. Alright, we're in a very good spot here. I think here we hold up the Brainstorm on our upkeep. Yeah, we didn't draw good, but we can put Avacyn back and a land. And Avacyn has to be the second one. Draw. Activate Omnath. And then reveal Avacyn. Get 3 white. Play a land. Just run out the Avacyn here, I think. And we have a D-spell for a counter spell. Veil of Summer isn't really going to do anything here. Except for a draw card. Nice. Okay. We're doing really well. GG's. Man, that was really good. What a turn, huh? It was, for me, it was all about reading their plays, right? I'm sure that if they had another removal spell, they would have used it instead of the Wash Away to keep the Wash Away in hand, so that when they remove the Omnath and we replay the Omnath, they also have interaction for the Omnath, so the Omnath will cost 1,000,000 mana by then. At least that's what I would have done. I would have used 2 removal spells on the Omnath, remove the Omnath, keep the Wash Away in hand, so that when they replay it, if they replay it, I still have interaction to counter the Omnath. But since they made that play, I was sure they didn't have another removal spell in hand, so I was comfortable with tapping out for an Omnath. And then we had a Brainstorm in hand and a Avacyn, and Brainstorm is the best supporting card for Omnath in my opinion. You untap on your upkeep, play Brainstorm, put Avacyn back into the deck. The second card that you draw on your draw step, then you activate Omnath's ability, you get Avacyn, 3 mana, you can tap, play Avacyn, and we have ramp, so we can play D-spell if they had a counter spell for the Avacyn, or hold up the Wash Away for their Yarok. So GG's, couldn't have gone any better than that. So this is Omnath in a nutshell, basically. This is what Omnath does, basically. Very, very good here. I was happy with what we showcased this game, so GG's. Okay, we're playing against Calyx here, so it's an enchantment-based deck. What we do have is removal, well, a board wipe, mana fixer, and Relic of Legends, so we'll keep this. So turn 2 Guild Globe, turn 3 Relic of Legends, and if we top deck a 1 mana protection spell, this could be a very, very important. Because we can tap our Omnath for 1 mana to protect our Omnath, basically, through the Relic of Legends here, so pretty good. Alright, into the north is an even more important play than Guild Globe here, so I think we go for Mana Confluence, I think, here. Yeah. Okay, we get a white source, which we desperately need. Even though we have mana confluence, but still. I think Cramp is better than to just play the Guild Globe. We can play the Guild Globe next turn along with Relic of Legends. So pretty good. Let's see what they're up to. Birth of Meletis. Okay. Plains. Sure. Okay, another ramp. So we can... I mean, who needs the mana fixing, right? Play... get green. Yeah. Pretty good turn. Can run out the Omnath, and even if it dies or it gets exiled, we can replay it potentially. So this is pretty good. I mean, yeah, the sad part is Calyx makes an appearance next turn, but you know, who cares? Vanishing Light. Okay, so we already dealt with one removal spell here, which is pretty good, and we're flooding out. Seems like that's fine. Okay, draw a card. It's a counter spell. But Calyx is gonna remove the Omnath, unfortunately. Maybe we should have played the Guild Globe first, before we played the Omnath. Yeah, I think that was a safer bet here. So that if we, you know, so since we top decked counter spell, I wouldn't play the Omnath probably. Wrath of God, sure. Okay. Let's see what you got. Play more Mana Rocks. Counter something on the way back. Pretty good. Yep. Nice. Okay, come on, man. You just removed my commander, and now you rage quit because I countered your Calyx? I mean, come on. That's lame, bro. That's why I really think we need to have a ranked system for Brawl, so that people just don't quit that easily. I mean, the format is becoming really lame. As soon as you cast something that they don't like, they can easily quit and restart because there's no setback for quitting. So it sucks, but yeah, lame opponent. Alright, we're playing against Atraxa, so that's a very tough matchup for us. We have Arcane Signet for ramp, wash away for Atraxa, and Nicol Bolas along with a black land here as well. So I think we keep this. This isn't a hand that I'm willing to ship away by any means, but yeah. Let's see what we can do against it. It's a very tough commander to beat. Very tough. Because they can just ramp, refuel. I mean, it's endless value off of Atraxa. I think it's one of the best commanders ever. For casual play, of course. Because, I mean, it's 7 mana. Narset. Yikes. Okay. Okay. And a blank spell. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can play Omnath, but I mean, fine. Sure. If they remove the Omnath, I think we can play Nicol Bolas next turn. So, I mean, yeah. Let's see what the Narset does. And we have to keep in mind that we can't draw off of the Nicol Bolas because of Narset. Skyclave Relic. Okay, they play that. Are they struggling with mana? They are. Yikes. Alright. Alright, we're doing pretty well now. I think I am going to run out the Nicol Bolas here regardless. What I'm going to do is attack the Narset. And yeah, just draw off of the Nicol Bolas. GG's. Yeah, since they missed one land drop, it was the end of them, basically. Nice. Even though they had a mana, you know, a mana rock here, but still, I mean, our curve was pretty good. That's a turn 4 Nicol Bolas, so nice. Okay, we're playing against Neheb the Eternal, or Neheb. So at the beginning of post-combat main phase, add for each one life your opponent have lost this turn. So probably a Devil's tribal list maybe, because they deal 1 damage, like poke damage, right? So what's our hand looking like? I mean, slow, extremely slow. Extremely slow. But it could be good if we can continue to draw lands. Kumano. Yeah, that deals 1 damage as well, so that's a land. Nice. Hopefully our opponent doesn't really overwhelm us here. But we have Supreme Verdict for any insane like starts, which they don't have at the moment, so that's pretty good. But red has artifact removal, so this could be kind of scary. Alright, and squee, yeah. Sure, friend, sure. Sure. So we need 2 white sources, which we don't have. So we don't even have Supreme Verdict here. Yikes. 1 white. We don't have a blue source. Yeah, our start has been really awful. This is really gonna get out of hand. Hopefully we can top deck like a blue land or something. Yeah, so they are playing an aggressive red deck. So that's in a slow format like Brawl. It's almost always like it's going to be a win for sure. But this is a draw. Now that's a top deck for sure. Nice. Alright, so that's a setback. That gives us like a tiny bit of like wiggle room, right? The next turn we can play Omnath, equip the boots. Yeah, you just run out a Bone Crusher Giant here. So does this give protection from red and from green? We can play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Can play Kogla and Yadaro. Yeah, I think that's the most optimal play for me here instead of running out the Omnath, because if they equip this, we need to have a big blocker for when they run out a creature, and then the turn after they equip, we need to have a big blocker on the battlefield to at least block it. But I mean, we can't block this sort of Forge and Frontier. We could have killed it potentially, but man, I just want it clean. I don't want to have any leftover mana, and they pass. Nice. Alright, so this is our opportunity here. Let's run out the Omnath. I am going to pay some life for it. I am going to pay this, equip this to the Omnath. They might have... Oh, okay. So do we take 4? Yeah. We take it. Alright. Well, they're at 14 here as well, so it's pretty good. Let me show you what this Omnath can do with leftover mana. Yep. It's pretty rough. And jumpstart, decline. Just draw your cards, friend. Draw your cards. You can have your lands, you can have... Alright, so we tap this for white, and it turns into black mana. So now I think we do have the kill, maybe? Yeah. Alright, play Invoke Despair. Target opponent. Yep. And that's the kill. GG's. Nice. Alright, so leftover mana is very important for Omnath if you have an Omnath on the battlefield. And black cards like Invoke Despair or Gristlebrand can benefit a lot off of you having black mana, so that you can tap basically a red land and turn it into black, floating black mana that you can later on use for like an Invoke Despair or to cast like a big spell like Torment of the Hellfire, which I've done before with this deck. So nice, clean game. I think our decisions have been spot on. GG's. Alright, we're playing against the original Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. So it's a proliferate deck, right? It could be anything. Planeswalkers, +1/+1 counters. This hand needs a ton of work, but we have Otherworldly Gaze, so should we keep this? Sure. I mean, we're just putting all of our hopes into Otherworldly Gaze here. Alright, and a ramp spell for our opponent. Let's just cast this Otherworldly Gaze. Into the north I definitely want. And yeah. Sure. Alright. Into the north for a red land. Okay. They just attack. Okay. So it could be a -1/-1 kind of I'm sorry, I meant like a toxic tribal deck. Let's see what they take. I mean, the rest is good for them. They might have a counterspell also. They take the Mazemind Tome. Yikes. And the Scrolls Hive. Okay, so it is a toxic tribal deck. Toxic tribal, huh? They might have removal in hand also. But what are we doing? If we play the Triome and pass, we can potentially... Oh no, we can't hold up Veil of Summer next turn. If they remove the Omnath, man, we're way behind. We need to find an untapped land. But I think we have to go for it. We have no more, like, we don't have a very optimal play here. We don't. See if they run out Atraxa. We still need an untapped land, regardless. We really do. So that we can play this Gilded Lotus, tap it for 3 mana, turn it into black. They just run out the Atraxa here, which is pretty good. Proliferate, yeah, that buys us some time. Okay, and the Mana Confluence. Alright, I think I am going to run out this Gilded Lotus here. And we are going to pass. Yeah. What we can do is we can Otherworldly Gaze, but that gives us 3 blue mana. We might need green for this Veil of Summer. But Avacyn has to come down next turn, I think. There's no other question about it. They tap this for green. See what they have. Infectious Bite. That sucks. Man, they really... And they really have green removal, bro. Like, how? Okay. Sure. Fine. Okay. And these are all slow. They have 1, They have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Avacyn was our best hope here. But we might lose this, right? They need 4. We can block 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's 4 exactly. Actually, they have it. Yep. Let's see how they attack. They have exactly 4. Yeah, they would have attacked with the Atraxa here. Yeah. Good game. Yeah, definitely. So it was all right. I mean, what could we have done better? I don't think we could have done anything better, man. Just them having the green removal dodges the Veil of Summer, and in that case, like, that's what won them the match, in my opinion, to be honest. Removing the Omnath with a green removal spell instead of black, even though they run black, is what won them the game, in my opinion. But I mean, they're obviously playing this for a reason, to give us more poison counters. So nice, GG's. Alright, we're playing against Chulane, Teller of Tales. So this, whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card, put a land, so creatures, lands. Okay, what do we have here? We have Paradise Druid, untapped land, and Wash Away. I think we keep this. Okay, opponent leads with a Temple of Mystery. I'm gonna lead with a Jetmir's Garden. Okay, another tap land. Nice. That's very good for us here. This is going to be... I mean, we can play this, yeah, into Paradise Druid, sure. Since it has Hexproof, it's better for me than an Ornithopter here, surely. Alright, they have Chulane next turn, so we can't really play Omnath, which is fine. Should be okay. Alright, we can play Ornithopter here into Thram Portal for green, red. This can be blue, and then we pass. Yep, Fabled Passage, sure. I think we play Tail's End here instead of Wash Away. Just spend our mana efficiently if they go for the Chulane. But they went for Smothering Tithe, so that's... Yikes. That's pretty good, man. I wish I had the Swan Song here. Decline. Alright. I'm gonna play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's play Omnath. Just hold up our blue 1 mana ramp spells. Sure. Here I think I am going to pay. Yeah, we really don't. Ooh, nice. Alright. Nice. Man, this couldn't have worked out any better than that. This also removes the Smothering Tithe. Man, this is so good for us, huh? Alright, play this. Attack with the Omnath. Man, this has been great. Okay, we can pass here, even though we could have played the Relic of Legends here, but still. Cultivate, more ramp, sure. We have Torment of Hailfire, so, and we can turn these lands into black mana. So let's see what happens. We definitely have the upper hand here. Alright, so turn this red, this blue, turn them into black mana. Slip out the bag. Man, this has been insane. And the Nicol Bolas. Wow. I mean, talk about explosive, right? Talk about explosive. Holy. We can do a lot here. Do we want to showcase the Torment of Hailfire? I mean, I already showcased Kyrie, yeah, but we can showcase the Torment of Hailfire. They know about Nicol Bolas. We're going to have just so much mana. So, Torment of Hailfire, right? 2 black. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The X is going to equal 8. They're going to sacrifice a non-land permanent and discard lands, and we're going to pull ahead here. It could be for 10 if we use Paradise Druid and Ornithopter of Paradise. That's why I have Torment of Hailfire. Leftover mana, turn them black, sink all that mana into one big spell like Torment of Hailfire that can just completely destroy them. But man, this game has been insane, man. I love this deck. Love how it works out. Very, very competitive as well. GG's.